now there's girl groups all over the place. Now there's the opportunity. You know, back then it wasn't that opportunity. It was harder. So, I mean, everybody was doing their thing, and the music now has become so mainstream, it's just accessible. You hit, and it's just like a domino effect. It just spreads, and you have that in Europe and everything. It's like wildfire. You just become very big if you do it right.
And I also think nowadays, you know, with technology, you could just pretty much just be anywhere, and you can pretty much be big because you can have a grassroots movement with YouTube, MySpace, Twitter, or any other website, and it's like now you have a lot more opportunities to get exposure as opposed to back during that period when technology wasn't really all, you know, advanced.
Yeah, you talking about we had banana cell phones back then.
The Zach Morris's.
Banana cell phones. Now you can watch a video on your cell phone. I mean, you're talking about different technology. Yeah, I mean, right now, the community, the public, the world is your voters. They're the ones putting people on. People are getting record deals all the time off of YouTube or being seen, millions of hits. It's something's on the news that was seen because people, you know, everybody wanted to look at it. I mean, it didn't work like that back then. It did not work like that at all. Just basically look the part, sound the part, and get in the right spot and do the right kind of shows and have the right opportunities, and you hit. Otherwise, it was a wrap. It was over.
Now, do you think that in today's music industry that there's not a lot of balance as opposed to back in the 80s and 90s? You had balance and you had, you know, a lot more leeway as opposed to now.
As opposed to now, yeah, because it just seems like it does. I mean, being then to now it just seems like the music industry is so much bigger. There's so many more artists. There's so many more groups and shows and stuff. Back then, it just seemed like a smaller world. So it just seemed like the opportunities and were easier as family oriented. All the record companies were linked together, and producers worked on, you know, groups of people. So it was just, the opportunity was easier back then, and it was on a smaller scale. Now it's huge. It's huge.
You definitely cannot escape it, and the confusing thing is, of course, with all the consolidation and all these labels are owned by one subsidiary, and it's all confusing. Now, do you still keep in touch with some of the people within the Giant Camp, like guys from Color Me Bad, Christopher Williams, or anybody like that?
Nope. I'm friends, like the producers, some of them, yes, I have been in contact with for years. I just, Spider-Man, he's like my brother. I mean, that's one thing that I'm very thankful for, is that I created a little family that I've taken with me throughout the years, that we can all reminisce and we can all stick together. We all have each other's back, and we'd all help each other again if we could when there's opportunities. And I'm in touch with 3 of the girls from the group, so, and 2 of the co-managers. So, I mean, there's people that I still know. But back then, we were so under tight wrap that they didn't really want people to make those connections with other outside sources and other producers and make friends out there. They wanted you to just stay in this little confined area and do your job and keep it moving. You know, they did. So, you know, I'm sure there could have been a lot more people that I knew and a lot more contacts and that I would have had over the years. It just fell off, but it just didn't work out that way.
Do you think that you will ever make a return to music again, or is it just, you know, I did it once and I'm just happy to say I did it once?
Both. I mean, I'm torn. I mean, I've done it. I still do it. I've demoed for some pretty big people. I've attempted to do a solo album, but, you know, you got to work a 9 to 5. I mean, I've learned my lesson from being in the music business that you can rise real quick and you can fall very easily. So you need to have a backup plan, and you need to be realistic with it. I mean, fortunately for me, I didn't grow up striving for this. So some people, you know, they strive and they go to school for it, and they want it so bad, and that's all that they know, and it could become very damaging to someone when you don't get there. But I lived a normal life before. I was a working girl. I stumbled upon this wonderful opportunity. I had a great time. I don't think that happens to too many people. I took the ride for what it was, and I'm thankful for it, and I've learned, and I've things have spun out from that. So I'm not mad.
So what do you think about the little semi-revival of the whole New Jack Swing era? You have acts from that era out and about touring, releasing new material, and so are acts from the golden era of hip-hop.
I love it. I love it. I was like, is somebody going to come knock on our door? I mean, I didn't realize how big it was until you look back. And I go on YouTube now, and I see people like the comments and the amount of people that remember us, where I'm like, wow, really? Like, we had an impact, and we were so small. But, you know, Guy and Elvis DeVoe doing it again, and New Edition doing it again, and all these, and it's like, okay, well, God, would I do it again? Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't know if I would do it like that. I'd do it differently. But, I mean, it's coming back. It's just like style. You know, bell bottoms, we were wearing wide legs just not so long ago. And then what was that, in the 70s? So it all comes back around.
Yep. And, of course, New Kids on the Block are back, and they are bigger than ever.
Oh, yeah. They are huge.
Yeah, and ironically, I had interviewed Danny. This was before they recorded material for the block and announced their reunion, and that was kind of funny. I was like, wow, I did that. But it's amazing to see how, you know, their fans could wait for like 14 years for them to come back out and to still have that loyalty and that following.
Yeah, well, when you're big like that, like they were in the beginning, they never really left. I mean, you might go away for a while, but when you've created such a magnitude fan base and following, they're your fans for life. And then when you come back out, you just have them again. So they never really went away. They just came back again strong. So.
Now, what advice would you have for young artists that want to get into the music business besides learning the business?
What advice? I would say you have to have that passion. You have to work at it. You have to be realistic. You definitely have to have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan. You follow your dreams. Yes, I'm a firm believer in that because they do come true. But always be prepared for anything. But just do it. Do right and stay focused and learn. Open your mind. Don't just be one track. You know, if you love music, listen to all kinds of music. Learn from other countries and just absorb all that you can. Watch other people. Involve yourself any way that you can. If it's your passion, then I believe that you follow your dreams and do everything you need to do to obtain them. But be realistic with it. Always be prepared because it's rough. I think that the music business is one of the roughest and hardest business to succeed in, right? Especially nowadays because there are so many singers, there are so many entertainers, everybody dances, everybody wants a record deal, everybody's producing, and so the competition is steep. So you really have to make sure that you want this bad and put your all into it and do it.
And from me, have thick skin because people are going to like you or they're not going to like you. And stay humble. Always be thankful to your fans and don't get big-headed.
Oh, yeah. No. Don't change who you are. That's one thing we never did. We always stayed the same. I'm the same now as I am. I'm the same at work. I'm the same with people who've known me for years. I have never changed. And that's important. You don't want to just, when the lights go on, put on another face. You don't want to do that because people nowadays will call you out, and then it'll be over for you. The best way to be is to be yourself and shine. I mean, it gets no better than that.
And in the words of Debbie Allen, if you want fame, well, fame costs. And right here is where you start paying in sweat. And then break out in leotards and hop on the lunch table, then break out and sing fame and be like Leroy.
Exactly.
Hot lunch.
Your wings, jump off the lunchroom table.
You won't see me doing that. I'll probably be in the background somewhere. Now, do you have any shout-outs, any people you'd like to thank before we conclude?